Everybody, and welcome to the final table once again. Today we are covering event number 49 from the World Series of Poker 2020, brought to you by GG Poker. My name is Evan Jarvis. I am going to be your host today, and we are in for a treat. We have, after doing some research, we have 6 professional poker players who are going to be doing battle for a bracelet here, with 3 recreational players who may be on the semi-pro side of the spectrum as well. So we're going to have a nice mix-up of some extremely strong play and maybe some extremely creative play as well. These players are playing for $192,000 and a coveted World Series of Poker bracelet. Let's get into the action. Let's get stacking. Welcome everybody to the stream. Hope you are having a great night tonight. Hope you are excited to sweat some final table action. It's always a treat when we get to watch these final tables with cards up. Let's talk about our players a little bit. Our chip leader is Vladis Bernay something, who looks to have, I think this is a Lithuanian flag. Rocking. He's your chip leader. Second place is Pierre Merlin, who is a French player, if I'm not mistaken, and professional. Then we have Zhao, although that doesn't look like the French flag, but when I looked him up on Hendon, he was French. So we're going to go with French. Third place, we have Zhao Hu, who is one of the perceived recreational players, but we don't know for sure. We have Jeffrey Comier, who is a local Canadian player, looks to be semi-pro. Boris Kolev, also looked to be quite strong. Jimmy Guerrero in 6th. Not sure this flag either, but he had a very strong resume as well. Guillaume Knoll something, strong resume. Ezekiel Weigel, definitely looks pro, slightly smaller average buy-in than some of the other players, but definitely very comfortable with the stakes. And then Brendan Somebody is one of the guys as well. So this final table is a shallower final table, as we see Guillaume is one of the short stacks, and he's got 5.5 big blinds, and he's not even the shortest stack in the tournament. He's going to be coming in for a shove here with Queen 10 suited. This was a Turbo Deepstack event, started with 2,978 players, $500 buy-in, creating a gigantic prize pool. Gigantic prize pool. Everyone at this final table is guaranteed $14,608, $20,000 for 8th, $28,000 for 7th, $39,000 for 6th, $54,000 for 4th, $56,000 for, or $54,000 for 5th, $76,000 for 4th, and then we get into the 6-figure paydays. $105,000 for 3rd, $147,000 for 2nd, and $192,000 for 1st place, plus that World Series of Poker gold bracelet. You see Jimmy Guerrero has picked up a monster hand here. Pocket Kings in the big blind, and he is certainly going to be calling here. Pierre Merlin going with the ICM push, figuring his opponents are going to have to call with a very narrow range when there is this player here with 3.7 bigs, this player here with 4.5 bigs. Probably figuring he's only going to get called by the jacks plus ace king kind of range. That is one of the hands he runs into. He's still got a 25% chance to pair up with an ace on the flop, but when that is also found with a king, giving our man Jimmy a set, it's going to be pretty dire. Oh my God. Wow. So sick. Pierre Merlin gets there with the 25% shot. You know what they say. When it comes to offsuit aces, 25% of the time, it works every time. And that was wild. That is the power of pushing and why you hate to call, but obviously a great spot for kings. You guys take that, right? You know, you're a 70% favorite to double up. Although, do you take it? Or would you pass on it and just say you'd rather move up to 7th place? Not to say fold kings, but would you rather get 28,000 guaranteed, or you take the 70-30 in that spot, knowing you're going to get 14,600 30% of the time, or maybe 25, but that you're going to double up the rest of the time? Put yourself in position to be, you know, going for that 76,000, 100,000. Tough spot, though. That is the pain and suffering that is tournament poker. Jimmy Guerrero going to be being our 9th place finisher, taking him $14,608.76. And I do not know what Zhao Hu is thinking about here. He's got 5-3 suited. I guess it's a decent Baccarat hand, but I mean, come on, man. The odds are not there. He's just chilling and he's folding. Good fold, Joe. And Guillaume takes it down with King Jack there. And we may see Vladis open up here. He is the chip leader. Pierre Merlin was the second chip leader. Now he's tied for the chip lead. Vladis has a couple of blockers here and a hand that's going to run reasonably well in all-in situations. Even in one of his worst cases here where he's up against pocket jacks, he's still going to have a 30% chance to win. And it's pretty rare when you have King Jack that your opponent's going to have pocket jack. More likely going to run into pocket queens, ace queen, 10, similar such things. So he's needing a king, and a king only on the river does not catch it. And that's going to be a double up for Ezekiel Weigel. How you doing, Violet Mystery? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you tonight. Looking forward to playing with you in tonight's Free Money Friday home game, brought to you by Rounder Casino. Let's get stacking. Pierre Merlin with the pocket fives here. Probably, could find an open. I think French players tend to open a little looser when they can. He's got the big stack. He can call off the short stacks if he gets jammed on. And it's a pair. You know, it's a reasonable open. It doesn't have any blockers going for it. You'd rather have King 10 offsuit here than pocket fives, but it's a fine hand to open. Unfortunately, he's going to be running into the aces of Vladis. Let's see how he plays it. Is he ever going to consider slow playing? No, he just wants to build the pot. And if Pierre happens to be very nutted here, Vladis wants to get as many chips as possible. Little insight on Ezekiel. He either chopped or won the W Coupe main. So we already thought he was a solid player. Saw that he was playing lots of events and had lots of scores live. Word is he knows how to play online pretty well as well. Hello, Loves Giraffes. Welcome to the stream, man. Glad you could join us. And welcome Swatank Sinha to the stream. Coming in from YouTube. Guillaume with pocket threes, 10 big blinds. It's a hand we would normally shove with 10 big blinds, but with this really short stack here of 2 bigs, another one having 6 bigs, not sure if he's going to take this spot or not. He is one of the shorter stacks, 6 of 8, but he is not the shortest stack, and the shortest stack is extremely shallow stacked here on only 2 big blinds, which are probably going to be going in the middle here. An ace on the button with sub 2 bigs. That's a let's go. That is a vamos, my friend, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Vladis just calls, looking to invite in Ezekiel as well so that they can have the best chance of busting this player and moving up the payout structure. We know that 8th place is $20,317. 7th is $28,258. Ezekiel flops an open-ended straight draw, but he needs to make his hand to be able to bust the all-in player, so there's not really a whole lot of incentive for him to bluff at this pot. If he does improve with a 7 or queen, I'm sure we'll see a bet. But barring that, particularly, I think we will. It's a check behind, and it's going to go check, check on the river. Brandon is going to be tripling up. Brandon Sheehan going to be tripling up here. And for Brandon, it's always nice to hold in those spots, right? You let yourself get so short. Finally got a hand to go with. It's nice when you hold up there. I think we'll see Zhou and Hugh coming in for a raise here. Question is what size? We don't know anything about this player yet. He could be a min raiser. He could be a 2.5xer. He could be a pot-sized better. He could be an open shover with 18 bigs, and that's what he's going to do. Doesn't want to risk Pierre Merlin seeing a flop with him and potentially taking him out post-flop. He just wants to maintain his 3rd place stack and says if someone has picked up a monster, let's run the cards. I got ace queen, sub 20 bigs. I am not afraid. Vladis finds the ace in the cutoff, goes for a large raise here. I kind of like it. Really discourages the big blind from defending. Makes it much more difficult for Pierre to get involved, especially when the biggest stack is coming in for a raise. No one really wants to butt heads with him. He would be priced in to call off against Ezekiel, which I guess is not a great thing. But he's also probably figuring the extra folds he gets from Pierre and Jeffrey make up for that. Imagine if it had been min-raised, Jeffrey would probably be making a push in this pot. But facing that 3.5x, he's not going to be able to contend with Vladis. Vladis is going to take that one down. A6. Again, welcome everybody to the stream tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Happy Free Money Friday. Tonight we are covering event 49, the 2020 World Series of Poker, brought to you by GG Poker, a $500 buy-in Turbo Deepstack event. This is the final table. 8 players remain. They are all guaranteed $20,000. They are competing for $192,000 and a golden World Series Poker bracelet. Brandon, after the recent triple up, likely going to be putting all the chippies in the middle here. It's 6 big blinds. It's pocket nines. They call it the stars nuts. It's probably pretty good on GG too. We'll probably not finding out though, as no one has calling hand. And Pierre Morris asked if I'd played any live poker in Vegas. Not yet. I'm living in Canada. Vegas is a bit of a trip for me. I don't even know if I'm allowed to fly to the States right now with everything that's going on. So I'm happily just playing my online World Series of Poker, truly living the dream. I was more of an online player before being a live player. So to get to play the biggest festival in the world from the comfort of my own home really is a dream come true. Speaking of dreams coming true, Vladis picks up Ace King on the big stack. Do not think Pierre is going to be getting involved, although he's definitely tempted. Having a suited Broadway hand. He's got a big stack. He's got some room, but this is not the guy he wants to tango with. Going to fold to Guillaume, who likely is just going to be all in with pocket nines. No real value in calling and looking for a safe flop. There's just too much money in the middle. The hand is extremely strong. Get it in pre-flop. You're going to get called by hands you're flipping with, hands you're dominating, the smaller pairs, maybe even the ace-6 if Vladis is opening that as well. So Guillaume going to take his time, just make sure the numbers are right. They are. It's a flip, nines versus ace-king, 19.4 million chips in the middle, and it is an incredible flop for Vladis, who picks up top pair and the nut flush draw as well. Canadian friend drawing to a 2-outer, and that is not going to be one of them. Apparently, nines not as good on GG as they are on stars, but 3/8 suited, the old double down. Very good value indeed. So our 8th place finisher is going to be Guillaume Nollet from Canada, taking home $20,317 for his 8th place finish. Next hand, we see Vladis coming in hot. Not slowing down. He's got those chips. He wants to put them to use. Raises up the 5-6-0. And Pierre says, well, this I'm not going to fold everything to your opens, brother. He's got fold equity. He's got by far the best hand. Ace-king suited. Not afraid to go out at this point. And that's the thing, right? You can do all the ICM considerations you want. But at the end of the day, when you get the premium hand, and the guy who's a bigger stack than you is opening, and you know he's opening a wide range, you need to just put those chips in the middle, realize you're going to win the pot like 80-90% of the time pre-flop, maybe even more than that because of how wide he's opening. And if he has a hand that calls you, all right, 30% of the time you're going to spike that ace on his kings or win the flip even more against his queens and jacks, and you are going to have all the chips in play, and it's game over for everybody else. Ace-3 versus queen-7. Boris finding the best hand, gets it in good, and Vladis took the price, called off, and it's a double for Boris. A double for Boris. Yeah, but sometimes you just have to put the chips in the middle, and yes, some of the time it's going to be a sick cooler. Not very often, but some of the time it will be, and you're going to go out in 7th. When you had a stack that was guaranteed to get you 3rd. But most of the time you just get through, and when you win, you're getting first place like half the time and top 3 like all the time. So that happens 30% of the time. I'm all right with that. Pierre Merlin opens, gets 3-bet from Vladis. He has a hand that you like to see a flop with, but you don't love to see a flop with. Being suited, I think we would have seen a call. But it's one of those spots where with the absolute nut hands like we saw the ace-king suited, the money's going in. But in spots where he's kind of on the edge there, he's kind of on the margin there like he is with king-queen off, he's not going to willingly take variance against Vladis with something mediocre. Joe and Hugh picks up king-queen here in the hijack. Going to be an open. And Ezekiel with ace jack in the small blind. I think we're going to be seeing all the chips go in the middle here for 7 million. He's facing a pretty late position open here. He is 6 of 7. Definitely one of the shortest stacks in play. It's not like he's facing an under the gun raise here, an under the gun +1 raise here. He's facing a raise from a position where he's going to be ahead a significant amount of the time. Joen, we saw he's open shoving ace queen. Although Ezekiel doesn't know that. But Ezekiel decides to fold here, thinking it's too close. Thinking, okay, Joen can have ace 10. He can have ace 9 suited. He can also have ace queen and ace king. You know what? I just don't want to take a flip at this point. Pierre Merlin, though, more than happy to take a flop here with ace 5. Flops, trips, top kicker. He has the nuts. He has the nuts. Do we think he's going to come in with a check raise or just a check call? A lot of hands are going to be check raising on this board, but when you have it kind of hammer locked here, your opponent's basically drawing dead. There's no need to scare them out of the pot, and there's plenty of value in underrepresenting your hand. Make it look like you have a pair of 7s. Make it look like you have a pair of 6s that is afraid about getting barreled off, and your opponent, if he's an aggressive player like Joen Hugh now appears to be, he's going to take that opportunity to try to fold you off your weaker hands. That's what aggressive players do. They look for spots where your range is wide and has a lot of hands that will fold, and they keep barreling. So kudos to Pierre Merlin for just check calling the flop, check calling the turn as well. And will he find one more check on the river? Again, if you're in Joen's shoes, you're not happy you got called twice. But if you're an aggressive type player and you're thinking Pierre has a 7, very often it's going to be very hard for him to find a river call here. In fact, darn near impossible to find a river call with just a 7. I like the tanking that Pierre's doing here, really making it look like he's found himself in a just awful spot on the river. Does not know what to do. He goes for the small lead. That's going to get Joen Hugh off the hook. I think I would have liked to see one more check, but it's hard to check in this spot. You're thinking if your opponent has a pocket pair that you want to get value, that he's going to be checking behind on the river every time there because the 6 makes a straight. And so he was guaranteeing that he got a little bit of value there. When your opponent is bluffing, unfortunately, that doesn't work out. But Joen Hugh may have been checking behind there anyway. Pierre Merlin, though, picking up a very nice pot. He is now up to 39 million. He's going to come in for the shove. And he is going to get it through. Jeffrey's going to be calling with a very narrow range of hands there. He's 1 spot away from an $11,000 pay jump, 2 spots away from a $26,000 pay jump. There's just so much money to be made by surviving in this that there's no real need to make a close call with a hand like King 7 or King 8, something like that. We see Brandon coming in with the 6 blind shove, ace 9. Like he found a good spot and is going to be able to get it through. That's exactly what it is, what it do. Big hand coming together here. Vladis, King Jack, certainly going to be opening it. And with the stacks now being much shallower at the 600, 1200 big blind level, I think if Joen goes for the shove, Vladis may be priced into call here. It's only 7 million more to call. He's getting 2 to 1. Yep, he's going to find it. It's a snap. King Jack against 8s. Classic coin flip situation once again. And it's top 2 pair on the flop. Vladis or Nakis. Definitely smashing the boards. That is one of the ways. That is one of the keys to winning tournaments. Is smashing the boards when you're in all-in situations. Unlucky for Joen Hugh. That last spot cost him a little bit with the bluff that didn't work out, and then with the remaining chips, forced to put him in the middle there with pocket 8s. I don't know if anyone's doing some crazy ICM flat and then check fold bad boards, check get it in on good boards. I'm not. And he's going to be our 7th place finisher, taking home $28,258.18. We're now down to the final 6 players remaining. Everyone here is guaranteed $39,000 and change. It only goes up from there. 54,000 for fifth, 76,000 for fourth, 105,000 for third, 147 for second, 192,000 for first place. Was a World Series of Poker bracelet. Brandon finds the fold with pocket threes there. That is some serious ICM business. He lets Vladis instead make the push with 8-6 suited, as he's going to do with the big stack, max pressure. And ace 10, just too strong of a hand to fold blind versus blind. Ezekiel, barring an ace or 10 on the river, is going to be eliminated here, taking home 6th place money. That's $39,000. And Brandon, by folding, has laddered up to $54K. He probably also felt that he might get called by Vladis. Both those players could afford to call. And he's not a heavy favorite when he does get called. Also, with 6 bigs, he's in 3rd place right now. And that would be worth double the payout. So very cool ICM fold there from Brandon. Just saying, my chair in this tournament is worth way too much. I do not want to put my tournament life on the line. And he finds the fold button there, and we see a ladder for him as a result. Congratulations to Ezekiel, taking home $39,301 for a 6th place finish. And everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're just tuning in right now, we are reviewing event 49 from the World Series of Poker, a $500 Turbo Deepstack event from last Sunday. That's why the stacks are so shallow here. Our current chip leader is Vladis Bernakis, and 2nd place is Pierre Merlin. They both have 32. Well, 2nd place has 33 blinds, first has 49. Everyone else, 5 bigs. And we see Brandon folding the threes again. We see Pierre Merlin is just sitting out. He's like, I'll wait till we're 3-handed, man. I'll just take my 105K guaranteed, please and thank you. And as a result, Vladis, this is insane. With the 2nd place stack sitting out, Vladis can just move in on every single hand, and everyone else is in a folding war because they want to outlast each other and ladder up. Next pay jump is $22,000 in a $500 buy-in event. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of buy-ins. So we see Vladis coming in with the deuces here. Jacks is going to be too strong for Boris to fold. Ace Jack suited, you could actually maybe consider folding, but your big pairs in this situation, 10s, jacks, queens, kings, aces, you run them. You put them in, you run the cards. Sometimes you get unlucky, like we saw Jimmy Guerrero earlier, losing with his kings versus ace 3, but your pocket pairs, your big pairs, too strong. You need to get the money in the middle when given the opportunity with them. So Boris Kolev going for a big double up here, looking to fade a deuce of spades or a deuce of diamonds, which he successfully does. And we see a double up for him, which is going to put him comfortably in 3rd place and put a lot more pressure on Brandon and Jeffrey, now being the 2 shortest stacks in the tournament. They're probably going to go into a folding war, try to outlast each other, be the lucky recipient of that $22,000 pay jump for the next spot. And Pierre Merlin is back. Well, likely, wouldn't be surprised if we see Vladis applying the pressure here against Pierre. Now, even with the hand as strong as 9s, I don't know that he just pushes back. 33 blinds is a lot of chips to commit to the middle, especially when 3rd place has 10 blinds, 4th has 5, 5th has 4. This is a time in the tournament where Pierre Merlin is going to want to be playing small ball against Vladis, even with some of his best hands. The ICM pressure now is much greater than it was earlier when he picked up ace king and shoved over Vladis's open. Probably see Vladis open again here. No real reason to slow down. He's going with that larger raise sizing to let his opponents know it doesn't matter what cards I have. If you want to move in, you are getting called, my friend, which is going to deter them from moving all in with as many hands as they would versus maybe a smaller raise. All right, is Brennan going to do it with ace 3? I got to think no. I mean, if he's folding pocket 3s on the button, I don't think he's going to be pushing with ace 3 in this spot. Just checking our scouting report. Brendan was one of the smaller stakes players. He has 86,000 in live earnings, so this is a big cash for him. And if he ladders up one more spot, he will pretty much double his career earnings. So that actually makes even more sense why he was finding the fold with 3s. Vladis just limping in with 9-7 offsuit. Seems a little unnecessary to go quite that wide. But he does so. Puts Pierre in the awkward spot. Just has to call with threes. Boris, the price is very cheap. He's going to see a flop. Brendan with the hand that he would normally shove, but if he shoves, he probably figures that everyone's going to call him, and he's going to have to run it 4 ways. So rather than do that, let's just check, wait for a queen or king high board, and barring that, just let it go. If you're going to bother taking one off here, probably in a 4-way pot, it's not really worth it. He's just going to face more barrels later. Again, he doesn't need to protect his equity, his pot share as much as he does just want to protect his stack at this stage of the game. Second place stack worth so much. 147,000 to be exact if he can just maintain it. So it's probably what we're going to see. Jeffrey here, 6 bigs, ace-7 suited from the cutoff, I imagine is going to be going in. Some desire to outlast Brendan, who is extremely short there. And same thing. I mean, I'm thinking that Boris probably be shoving with 4s here. But because Brendan's there, they are not shoving. And let's just see our report on Jeff. Looks like semi-pro, about 500K in winnings. And then on Boris, Boris is a pro. Boris is a full-time pro, so he's making a fold. He's probably running through the ICMizer. And so it's just not a play there, man. Too much to be gained by outlasting this guy. $22,000, 50 buy-ins. Says I'll grind my 6 big blind stack. No problem. The Pierre Merlin picks up pocket aces. Gonna do anything fancy. The one hand that it's totally cool to do anything with. With ICM in play, maybe he just limps. He shoves. Jeffrey's saying ace-10 suited, blind versus blind, too strong. Unless a 10 comes, that's going to be pretty unfortunate. Hearts as well on the river, 25% shot to improve. Is he going to get it? It's a diamond. It's a queen. He's out of here. And we know the a7 suited would have gone through. And he had fold equity in this spot. Here he's calling off. He knows he's running the cards. With the a7 suited, he actually had fold equity. He had enough chips that he could push there. Maybe not get called. So I don't know. Do you guys prefer calling off with ace-10 suited here with your opponent having the range of hands that they would shove with? They obviously don't always have pocket aces. Or if you're in Jeff's spot, would you have preferred to shove a7 suited from the cutoff for 6 blinds into 3 players? Brendan finds the massive ladder. Loves Giraffe is in awe, and he's our resident ladder professional. So looks like he taught Brendan a thing or two. And Brandon has laddered up to 4th place, locking up $76,000. Dream spot. Boris calls. They're looking for the max chance to eliminate Brendan. And Vladis flops a pair. We've seen a bet and taken it down. Brandon now down to a small blind. Going to be pretty unlikely that he's able to ladder here, especially with Boris being a professional, knowing exactly what he's doing. Pierre's a professional, and Vladis has some tournament wins. He's got some real good game. Going to be queen 4 against jack deuce. Queen high versus jack high. Looks like it's a queen on the river. We have our 4th place casualty. Great job by Brandon. Brandon laddering up. Brandon Sheehan, great job laddering up. Basically ties his career live earnings. His best live cash was 74,000. He's got an online one for 76. And now that ICM pressure is off, blind versus blind, we see a shove from Pierre and a snap call from Boris. Boris would have been folding this all day earlier with those short stacks in play. But once you're 3-handed this short, you're taking all the spots that are close. Figures there's a nice mathematical edge to get involved there with queen 9. Makes the snap call. Unfortunately, does not win the pot, but with the chip stack he came into the final table with, 3rd place is a wonderful result. Congratulations to our 3rd place finisher, Boris Kolev, who's taken home $105,000. And, a little bragging rights about making a WSOP final table. So now we have our heads-up match down to Vladis and Vladis Bernakis and Pierre Merlin. If you guys are on Twitch chats, let's get your votes in. Who do you think is going to win? We have Vladis coming in a heads up with 70 million in chips. That's 44 blinds. And Pierre Merlin coming in with 50 million in chips, 31 blinds. Vladis's total live earnings prior to this event are $208,000. And Pierre's winnings are $890,000. Check. The river. Pair of sixes is going to be good for Pierre. Let's just get a quick scouting report so you guys can see who is playing here. This is Vladis Bernakis from Lithuania. And here are all the results. You see his average buy-in around 500. Plays a lot of smaller events, but he plays a lot. He plays a lot in Czech Republic, a lot in Malta, Lithuania. Guy puts in his volume, and he's been putting his volume in since 2014, including some wins, multiple first place finishes. Guy knows how to play tournaments. And then our French competitor, Mr. Pierre Merlin. He's PMU.FR Pro, 900K in live earnings. Also plays, mid stakes, 2Ks live, 500 live. And he's been playing since way back, even further, 2013. And, he had some first place finishes back then, crushing on Winamax. The guy knows how to close tournaments. So both of these players know how to close tournaments. So no surprise to see that they made it heads up. They both came in with a lot of chips to this final table. And now Pierre Merlin is going to be doing battle against Vladis Bernakis for this $192,000, a $45,000 pay jump, and the coveted World Series of Poker. Let's get into the action. Matty Boy says, yo, you my fave poker YouTuber. Thank you, Matty Boy. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad you could make tonight's stream, man. It's a real treat to be streaming for everybody, these final table reviews. All right, let's get into the heads-up action. Pierre Merlin, 55 million. Vladis at 62 million. Easy Money says he's going with the extra year of experience. And wow, we're actually deep here. 35 blinds heads up after everyone having 2 big blinds on this final table. We finally have some actual deep stack play. Vladis calling with 10-3 offsuit. Probably going to be close to the bottom of the defending range there. Probably is the bottom. And Pierre didn't flop anything, but he's going to fire a c-bet here, hoping his opponent missed. I kind of like this check raise from Vladis. Puts a ton of pressure on just like ace highs, a lot of overcard type hands, and top pair very strong heads up. So nice value raise. Nice value raise from Vladis, protecting his equity with top pair and taking control of the hand. I see Pierre picking up king 6 on the button. We're going to be a raise again. Vladis likely going to be defending with jack 3. If he's calling with 10-3, he's playing jack 3 as well. He decides he's going to throw this into his 3-bet bluffing range. He's liking the jack blocker a little bit more than the 10 blocker for 3-betting. And that 3-bet is successful. I think we're going to see some very aggressive play from Vladis Bernakis here. As I told you, Eastern Europeans, very good with their mathematics. And these 3-bet bluffs and these small check raises and stuff, they're all based in math. So should see a good show. Here with Queen Jack suited, he just flats the open. It's good enough to take a flop. Not quite good enough to value 3-bet. Not quite weak enough to use as a semi-bluff. But he is going to check call on this flop with the queen high, a couple backdoor straight draws, and a backdoor flush draw as well. And in fact, the queen and the jack were both live. Here checking back on the turn, deciding there's no more value to be gained. Basically, just be folding out the kind of hand that Vladis has, which he's going to turn into a bluff and puts Pierre in a pretty tough spot here. All pairs that have floated the flop are either a better pair, chopping, or trips. So Pierre's basically beating gut shots and then pure floats like this. If he doesn't think Vladis is floating all that wide on the flop, he is correct to fold on the river. And great play from Vladis, using the correct bet sizing to get the job done. A smaller bet likely would not have worked there. The 1.1x pot, enough to get the job done. We see Pierre Merlin defending from the big blind, 5 deuce of spades. Both have the same suit. Bottom pair. Probably going to see a continue, at least for one. Although it is a hand that's tough to get to showdown, bottom pair, and it is not much of a favorite against a random range. Pierre actually opts to fold it here. So far, it is looking like the battle of aggression. The war of aggression is being won by Vladis Bernakis, who is bringing the aggressive actions to the table. And I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon, especially picking up ace-queen in the big blind. Comes in for a 3.5x raise over Pierre's limp. Action back to Pierre Merlin. 4 million to go. He's going to limp call. Another fantastic flop for Vladis. He's playing well. He's running well. And isn't it beautiful when those two things come together? How effortless poker becomes. How easy it is to just run it over and win all the money. We have a 5-minute break brought to you by nobody, because we're going to skip the break and go right to the action, guy. Right to the action. No need to wait on that. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Right about here. If you are enjoying the live stream on YouTube, please hit that like button. Helps the channel a lot. And let's get right back into it. Tournament is back. All right. Vladis Bernakis, currently a big favorite here. Got a 2.5 to 1 chip lead, 86 million versus 34 million for Pierre Merlin. So far, Vladis has been playing well, running well, applying tons of pressure, and just getting all the perfect boards. It's pretty hard to lose when you're flopping top pair every single hand. They go into a check call mode, giving his opponent an opportunity to bluff here. Pierre Merlin improves. Third pair, he could bet to like charge a flush draw, but he's not going to get value from a whole lot. Probably better checking back, taking the hand to showdown. Vlad going for a value bet this time, smaller than the previous one. Pierre is going to look him up here to his disappointment. Folded when he had the best hand, called when he had the worst hand. The power of choosing the right bet sizing. Great demonstration there from Vladis. James says, love learning more about poker. Total noob here. Well, welcome to the stream, James. I love teaching poker. I'm glad that I can share some of my passion for the game and experience with you. Great Bill asking if the tournament was live in Vegas or online. All the World Series of Poker events are being played online. They finished on WSOP.com. Now all the events are on GG Poker, and there are some huge events coming throughout the summer, including the Millionaire Maker Final Table. Wow. And what? All right, we got to play that one back. That was just very, very rough for Pierre. We're going to play that one back. But yeah, including the Millionaire Maker Final Table. We've already seen the Colossus was epic. There's the main event, which is going to be the biggest online tournament of all time. The mini main event and the like, there are just so many great events coming up, and we're blessed to get to cover about like 20 of them. So I'm really excited for this. Anyway, this big hand here, Vladis, we're seeing the power of running good. Opens with Queen 10 offsuit on the button. Pierre decides with 3-gapper, strong enough to call. Vladis checks back on the flop because he can't get a lot of value from many worse hands here. He wants to give Pierre a chance to bluff it with weaker, and he wants to be able to get to the showdown cheaply. He doesn't want to necessarily play this for an all-in pot just because he has a pair and a gut shot. He has a pair of queens. He would like to get this to the river for 1 or 2 bets. Vlad is putting on a clinic. I mean, he's definitely putting on a clinic of how to play aggressively and get there whenever you need to. Pierre turns to pair, goes for the check raise. We like this play. Vlad looking for thin value with that Queen 10, getting himself a cheap showdown, but facing the check raise, says, I got a call here. I've got a gut shot. I've got a flush draw. I don't think the Queen is good, but maybe it's good some of the time. I'm hitting the call button. And on that King River, we've seen once again, Vlad has got the exact card he needed. And Pierre's just thinking to himself, what am I supposed to do? What can I do here to possibly beat this guy? Nothing. Super unlucky run out for Pierre. Very blessed run out for Vladis, who now has, oh my, 6-1, 7-1 chip lead. Pretty big favorite here. Pretty big favorite. Pierre down to 10 big blinds. See if he can spin it up for the comeback. It's $147,052. Not too bad for a consolation prize. Vladis catching the dry board, decides with the king high. He'd like to get it to showdown. Checking behind. He could have also fired a small c-bet on that board. Taking it down. He decides to do a delayed c-bet instead, betting the turn. Gets a bit more information from his opponent, so he's not going to get check raised on the flop. Waits to see, in fact, okay, my opponent doesn't have anything good. And, yeah. Then he makes his bet on the turn when he knows the success rate is going to be that much higher. All right, Vladis snap calls with 5-6 suited. He's in very bad shape here. Here with pocket sixes dominating. And he's going to need runner to catch this one. 10 or a queen for a chop. You have got to be absolutely kidding me. Vladis, we love what you're doing, especially the part where even as an 18 to 82% underdog, find the chop. Find the chop. Oh my goodness. Imagine how you're feeling if you're Pierre right now. Just so grateful that second place pays in poker tournaments, and it pays a lot. 9-8 suited versus Queen Jack. He's got the best hand pre-flop. He's got him drawing dead on the turn. And that is going to wrap up the event right there. Queens full of fives for Vladis Bernakis. He's taken home, oh, it looks like there was a little extra prize. $204,523.20. Congratulations to your winner, Vladis Bernakis. And in second place, we have Pierre Merlin from, looks like he was playing from Netherlands, but his bio says France. We'll just assume, man, he's a good player. And it's a great score. Congratulations on second place for $147,052. Cool. So that's going to wrap up this final table review. If you're enjoying them, please hit that thumbs up button. Let us know how we're doing. It helps us a lot on YouTube. And if you want to catch more final table reviews like this one, just check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/gripsed. You can see it at the top, GRIPSED. Currently streaming this right now. Thank you to everyone who tuned in live. We have all the replays available here. I've done, I think, 5 so far. Yeah, 5 events. We have event 38, 36, 33, 44, and 32, all available for your viewing pleasure. After this is processed by YouTube, it's going to be here too. We'll give it a hilarious thumbnail like this one, and you can catch all the replays here. We're going to be doing another one tomorrow, and we're going to be doing another one on Sunday, and my game plan is to just keep these coming for you guys. It's about 3 of them a week, as long as you guys are enjoying them. So just hit that like button. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying it, and I will do everything I can to keep them coming. And quick offer for anyone who is not playing on GG but thinking about playing on GG. We are offering a free WSOP poker training bundle for all new members at GG Poker to help you prepare for the World Series of Poker and hopefully find your way to one of our final table reviews. How it works, just sign up to GG Poker using the sign up code GRIPSED when you create your account. Fill out this form at the bottom of the page with your account name and email address. And then we will send you my World Series of Poker winning formula, which is a 6-hour webinar on everything I used: mental game, physical game, spiritual game, emotional game, strategical game to cash the World Series of Poker main event 4 years in a row. We also have the 10-part MTT video guide. It's a 10-part series, 4 hours, teach you everything you need to know to win MTTs. Early stages, mid stages, late stages, short stacks, big stacks, final table, and a few bonus things as well. And tournament poker fundamentals, which will just help you make the right decisions at the poker table and give you the best chance of winning poker tournaments. So yeah, that is going to wrap up this final table review of the WSOP $500 Turbo Deepstack Event 49. Replay will be available on this playlist on my YouTube channel, and I will be back tomorrow to do another one of those. If you're enjoying the stream and you want to keep hanging with me, I do have a home game starting in 18 minutes. on Twitch, so you are more than welcome to join me there. I will put a link in the YouTube chat. You guys can come join us over on Twitch. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Until then, you know what to do. Take what you've learned, go out there, and get stacking. Peace. Man, it's always so sad signing off from YouTube. Such great people. Such great people. All right, Twitch, get this party started.